Hello, and welcome back to the Sustainable Brown Girl podcast. This show exists to connect Black, Brown, and Indigenous women who are interested in sustainability. Our goal is to inspire, encourage, and educate each other, from gardening to thrifting to minimalism to veganism and everywhere in between. We are all on a journey to taking care of our bodies and our planet. I'm your host, Ariel Green. This episode is sponsored by Greenhouse Mercantile and Ana Luisa Jewelry. More about our sponsors later. We are officially in the holiday season. By now, I'm sure most people have at least started shopping, and some may already have crossed everything off their lists. Festive decorations are up and holiday music is playing. For some, this is the most wonderful time of year. For others, it's anxiety-inducing. I'm part of the latter group. The holiday season was never a big deal when I was growing up. We didn't put up a tree and didn't exchange very many gifts. Christmas was very simple for my family. Since I've married into a family that goes hard for Christmas, I've had to meet certain expectations. And now that I'm a sustainable brown girl, it's getting more and more difficult to blindly participate in the festivities, mainly because there is just so much overconsumption and waste surrounding the holiday season. So this episode is dedicated to all of my fellow sustainable girls and guys who are looking for ways to enjoy the holiday season without compromising their values. Since I've been living with my spouse, we've only put up a Christmas tree 1.5 times. The first time was the first year we were living together. We bought a real tree from one of the local farms at a gas station. And that was great. We had it up a little bit too long. I think we ended up getting rid of it mid-January, which I know is kind of taboo for some people. However, the second time we put up a tree was last year, and it was actually a gift from my mother-in-law. And it's a plastic tree, which I still have. It was a small one. It came in a little pot. So we put that up. It was somewhat of a fail because half of the lights didn't work, but I decorated it anyway, made it work, and put it away to use again in the future. I'm not decorating this year, but my mother-in-law is going to reuse that tree that she gifted us last year, and she's going to put it up this year. So I'm sure by this point, most people have already decorated their homes, but if you're a little bit behind, here are some sustainable design ideas. So speaking of Christmas trees, let's answer the age-old question, fake or real? Believe it or not, choosing a live Christmas tree is the most sustainable option. I'm sure most people would think that going with the live tree would be less sustainable because, you're cutting down a tree. However, especially if you're able to buy a Christmas tree that was sustainably farmed, that is a better option. Because when you use a reusable or a fake Christmas tree, of course, you can use it for years and years. And if you do have a fake Christmas tree, that is recommended for you to use it for at least 5 to 10 years before getting rid of it. That kind of reduces the carbon footprint because the more you use it, of course, the less of an impact it has. The problem with artificial trees is that they're usually produced with chemicals and lead that won't decompose in the landfill and are, harmful for the environment. So if there is a local place where you can go and cut down your own Christmas tree, then that would be ideal. Otherwise, just, getting a live Christmas tree from maybe a mom and pop shop or something like that would be a better option. And then afterwards, it would be ideal if you could recycle your Christmas tree, or even some places have programs where you can rent a Christmas tree and, they'll take the tree back and replant it into your community. So there you go. If you were wondering which is more sustainable, a live Christmas tree or an artificial one. Artificial, if you already have it, keep using it. But if you don't have an artificial tree and you were kind of trying to decide if you wanted to get one, then go with a live tree. Or if you are allergic to live Christmas trees, then go ahead and check out your, local Goodwill, your, community groups, or see if anyone's giving a artificial tree away, and you can go with that rather than buying a new one. Now, when it comes to decorating the Christmas tree, it's always best to reuse ornaments and decorations from previous years. It may be tempting, but there's no need to buy new decorations every year. And if you are starting from scratch, then it would be best to check thrift stores or see if anyone wants to give away some of their decorations that they're tired of. Some other good options for decorations would be to use natural elements. There's a lot of stores selling plastic pine cones and fake citrus fruit slices and cinnamon sticks and pine leaves. These are all things that most of us can find in our backyards. So, go out foraging for some pine cones, or, go to the grocery store and get some real cinnamon sticks, or even slice up some oranges and bake them and use those as your ornaments. So, there's so many natural elements that you can use rather than buying fake ones. And they smell better. They're better for the environment. And when you're done with them, you can toss the pine cones back outside if you haven't decorated them, or compost them, or use them for next year. Also, like I mentioned earlier with the Christmas tree, if you wanted to buy an artificial one, check out the thrift shops, because there are always an abundance of Christmas decorations at the thrift store. Seriously, so many options. And you're likely to find unique pieces, vintage pieces. So you'll probably find some ornaments and decorations that no one else has. And when it comes to Christmas lights, those traditional lights, first of all, when one goes out, the entire string goes out in most cases. And it's difficult to try to find the one that's the culprit to replace it. And plus, the traditional Christmas lights use up a lot of energy. So now it's being recommended to go with LED Christmas lights. They last longer and they use up less energy. So that's a great way to go. So if you want to, put some lights around the house, you can get some of those little fairy lights and put them inside of glass jars to create a cozy ambiance. Or if you want to add some other type of lighting, use candles, preferably soy wax candles, but, any type of candles that you have on hand or can find at the thrift store will do. But candles just add the best ambiance, plus they smell good. So you definitely can't go wrong with that. And if you really do want to buy something new, check out some locally crafted ornaments, or even check on Etsy to shop handmade items so that you're supporting your local and small businesses. If you're hosting a holiday party this year, there are many ways to be sustainable and still have a good time. So, first of all, start with sending evites rather than physical invites. That's going to save on paper and just save you money. So, evites, it's pretty typical now for people to send out Facebook invites, or for people to send email invites. No one will really look at you crazy for doing that. So that's a super easy option to do. Now, when it comes to the actual party, you have to feed all these people and you have to give them something to eat on. So, most of us don't have enough dishes and drinkware and cutlery to be able to host a large amount of people. Rather than buying single use items, of course, first use what you have. And if you don't have enough, maybe you can borrow from some friends or neighbors. Or I've even seen in the local Buy Nothing group on Facebook, people will loan you some of their items for you to use for a party, and then you can just return it to them later. Or if you must purchase something, again, check out thrift stores to see what they have. There are always an abundance of dishware and silverware at thrift stores. So during this season, gift giving is a big deal. So when you're hosting a party, most people will do a secret Santa or a white elephant gift exchange. So when you're the host, of course, you can set the requirements for, the gift giving. So one thing you could do is encourage people to select waste-free gifts or practical, sustainable, or handmade secondhand gifts. That way, people aren't buying gag gifts, that someone's just going to throw away. It's funny for a little while, but then someone ends up with this and it's just going to collect dirt, dust, or end up in the trash can. And that's what we're trying to avoid. So encourage people to bring practical gifts and, be really thoughtful and intentional about it so that we're reducing waste. Speaking of reducing waste, food waste is always a big issue. I've done a couple of episodes on this. I did one around Thanksgiving, so go back and listen to that. But when it comes to having parties, you do want to get RSVPs. A lot of people don't like to RSVP. They wait till the last minute, but you kind of have to be diligent and make sure that everyone RSVPs so that you can only buy enough food for the amount of people who are coming. Once you've done that and you've got your hard head count, tell the guests to bring containers for leftovers so that, you're not stuck with an abundance of leftovers. And, since you're using actual plates, people aren't going to be able to make it to go plates. So they should bring their own containers to get some of that tasty food so it doesn't go to waste. Also, it would be a good idea to set up recycling bins around and let people know where they can put their, recyclables. And if you have compost so that people can, get rid of their food that they didn't finish, let them know that as well. And that will be a good way to reduce on some food waste. For any party that you are hosting or attending, don't buy a new outfit. So often we feel like we need to get a new outfit for different events, but it's likely that you already have something in your closet. Or if you do need to buy something, say you're going to an ugly sweater party, then go to the thrift store and find one rather than, shopping new. There is an abundance of ugly Christmas sweaters at the thrift store. And if you are hosting a party, if you feel compelled to do so, you can even encourage your guests to not buy anything new. You can tell them to wear something that they've owned for a while that has a story, or something that they bought secondhand, or even something that they purchased from a sustainable or ethical company. And that would be a great conversation starter or icebreaker for your guests so that they can, ask someone that they've never met before, hey, tell me about what you're wearing. So that's a great way to encourage your guests to be more intentional about their clothing habits and, trying not to buy new things for just one occasion. Lastly, if you are sending your guests home with parting gifts, opt for something that doesn't leave behind any waste. So, going with something edible like cookies that you baked, or even something that you got from a local bakery, is a great option. Or you can give your guests like little bags of seeds to grow their own herbs. Just anything that's going to be useful and won't end up in the trash or collecting dirt and dust later. Before we dive into gift giving, first a quick word from our sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by Greenhouse Mercantile and Ana Luisa Jewelry. There is the cutest Black woman-owned shop in my local downtown area called Greenhouse Mercantile. Fortunately, she also has an online shop at greenhousemercantile.com. Not only does the store feature products from local artists, Black-owned businesses, and fair trade products, but Kenya also sells zero-waste products like produce bags and wool dryer balls. I never thought I'd be able to find these things locally. Plus, Kenya is multi-talented and can offer help with curating your capsule wardrobe or making your home a sanctuary with her eye for simplistic interior design. To shop or inquire about virtual availability, visit greenhousemercantile.com. When it comes to jewelry, for me, simple is best. That's why I'm a big fan of Ana Luisa Jewelry. Their pieces start at just $39, and if you use my link in the description of this podcast, you'll receive 60% off your second item. That's shop.analuisa.com/ARIEL. Not only are their pieces produced ethically and sustainably, Ana Luisa is also 100% carbon and water neutral. From the perfect gold hoops to personalized jewelry and gemstones to pearls, Ana Luisa has pieces that will fit any style. Don't miss their biggest sale of the year by using my link in the description to get 60% off your second item at shop.analuisa.com/Ariel. Gift giving is the most stressful part of the holidays for me. I don't like to shop for myself, let alone for someone else. So much waste goes into buying gifts blindly, random knickknacks or random electronics or cheap toys that we give kids. There is so much overconsumption during the holidays, and it drives me crazy. So let's try to be more intentional about the gifts that we're giving people and also about the gifts that we request for ourselves. So for me, when my family asks me what I want for Christmas, I am always like just racking my brain. What do I want? So I've learned that having a list of things that, I've seen over the past few months that I'm not ready to buy for myself or I can't justify buying it for myself, those are good things to tell your family or friends about what to get you. Some of my favorite items to request are plants, books, or if all else fails, gift cards. Though I don't necessarily want to promote overconsumption by gifting gift cards, it's better than me trying to decide on what to get someone and getting something that they're not going to use, as opposed to getting a gift card from their favorite store and, they can pick out what they want. I don't necessarily want gift cards for Christmas, but if I'm worried that the person is going to just choose something randomly, I would much rather prefer a gift card. But if that's not your style, some other good ideas for gifts would be experiences, like a cooking class or a pottery class or, something like that. Even a spa day or a massage or you can gift a membership to a gym, if that's what someone asks, you're not necessarily trying to tell them they need to lose weight. But if that's something that they've mentioned that they wanted, then, that could be a good gift for them. Or if they have memberships to, like websites or software, that's also a good idea. Movie tickets, concert tickets, or any other types of events, or if you're movie tickets and concert tickets are also good ideas to gift. You could even gift a hotel stay or a vacation if you're feeling really generous. But I think experiences are a great gift idea. Of course, I'm also going to suggest buying locally made gifts from, local businesses or small businesses, maybe something that you bought from Etsy that's personalized or just something that the receiver would really enjoy. If the person that you're giving a gift to is open to having an eco-friendly lifestyle, I think gifting them something that will help them on their journey would also be appreciated. Last year, I gave my sister a reusable, like a super cute, it's weird saying reusable, but it's a shower cap that, you can just use over and over rather than using one of those plastic ones. So I've given her actually several zero waste or sustainable gifts. I gave her a razor, a metal razor, reusable cotton rounds, and a few other things. So if you're getting a gift for someone who might be open to something like that, then I think that those are great gift ideas. Or at the very least, they could even be stocking stuffers. So you could put in some bamboo toothbrushes or cotton rounds or just different small reusable or eco-friendly products as stocking stuffers, or even you can put, cookies, fruit, or, something like that in your stocking. And, those are easy ways and low waste ideas for stocking stuffers. If you are a crafty person, you can always make a gift for somebody. I've made candles for people to give as gifts because I love making candles. So those are great gifts. And, usually it's going to be something that someone's going to use and or cherish for a long time. So making something handmade or even baking something that people can eat is also a good idea for a low waste and sustainable gift. I know Christmas is also really big for kids, and I don't have children, so I can't truly speak to this. But some of my ideas for sustainable gifts for children would be, well, first, not to overdo it on toys and, just little knickknacks. Too many things typically can be overwhelming for children and I guess adults too. So, for both children and adults, it's probably best not to get a large amount of little things. It may be better to invest in one big item, like a bicycle or, a video game system, rather than getting a bunch of little items. And then when it comes to toys, especially for younger children, see if you can find some toys that were made sustainably, such as things that were made out of wood, because they last a long time and they just have the quality that is unrivaled by any plastic toy that you can get from Walmart. So I think that setting expectations is a great way to help your children understand that it's not all about getting gifts or getting a bunch of gifts that, really makes this season special. Now we have all of our gifts purchased and it's time to wrap them. I'm sure we all have memories of filling up tons of trash bags of wrapping paper on Christmas morning after we've all opened our gifts. And it's just so much wrapping paper that goes to waste. And often wrapping paper is laced with plastic to, make it shiny and make it durable. So it can't really be recycled. So we should definitely try to step away from the traditional wrapping paper because there are so many other ways to wrap gifts. Throughout the year, I will save any gift bags that I've gotten from gifts that I've received, or I'll save any fancy shopping bags that I've picked up, and I will put any Christmas gifts in those. I also sometimes get brown paper bags at the grocery store that you can also use for gift wrapping. And sometimes when I order items online, they come in really nice boxes that have tissue paper or, like some type of packing materials in it that are really cute. So I'll also put gifts in that. If you have any extra fabric or scarves of any kind laying around, you can use the traditional Japanese method of Furoshiki, which is where you wrap a gift in fabric. There's a specific way in which you can do it, or you can just kind of, do your own style. But, that's another cute way to wrap some gifts. You might want to ask for that fabric back, but hopefully the person won't mind giving it back. Or that could be part of their gift and they can keep it. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode. I hope that you got some good ideas with how to be more sustainable this holiday season, whether you are hosting a party or you're just giving a few gifts to your friends and family and loved ones. It's not about having or giving the most extravagant gift. A lot of times people just appreciate something that has some intention and thought behind. Making something or getting something secondhand or gifting a sustainable gift is usually well appreciated. And if not, at the very least, hopefully you can give people something that they truly want and or need. At the end of the day, this season shouldn't be about gifting things or getting the biggest and best gift. It's about spending time with family, friends, and loved ones and creating memories and just spreading joy and cheer. So hopefully we can all do more of that this season and also try our best to be eco-friendly, to leave the planet better than we did yesterday, and to not overconsume products, food, or anything that'll hurt the planet. Special thanks to today's sponsors, Greenhouse Mercantile and Ana Luisa. Visit greenhousemercantile.com to shop or schedule a virtual appointment with Kenya. And don't miss Ana Luisa's biggest sale of the year by using my link in the description to get 60% off your second item at shop.analuisa.com/ARIEL. Thank you so much for listening to this Sustainable Brown Girl podcast. Be sure to subscribe and share it if you loved it, and leave a review. You can find us on Instagram at Sustainable Brown Girl, and check out our Facebook community. We would love to have you there. Until next time, let's continue to make healthy choices for the health of our planet and the health of our bodies. Thanks for listening.